everyone, and welcome back to the DrMBalmer channel once again. And well, I'm doing this video. It's a short video by my standards, or the standards of this channel. And as you can see, I have 3 keyboards here of different types and brands, but the background for this is that a while back I did a comparison, or mainly it was actually a review of this HP 975 wireless keyboard. And in that review I compared it to the MX Keys keyboard. And as you can see, I have used both quite a bit, so there's some wear and tear here on the buttons and stuff. Some stuff that needs to be cleaned at some point. But I have, since the review and the comparison, I have received a lot of very good comments, and thank you very much for that, and for having a look at the review and reacting and commenting, and that's great to see. I love that. Some of the comments mentioned a few things that I thought would be interesting to have a look at. First of all, I got a comment saying that well, both these keyboards are pretty much interesting, but it would be also interesting, however, to first of all know the actuation force needed, and between these two keyboards, it seems that the HP is lighter. It doesn't need as much force, just by the feel of it, while the MX Keys feels a bit well, feels like you need a bit more force. But I haven't checked it, and that was something that wasn't included in my review, which I should have tried to include maybe. So that was a great comment, and why not have a look? I don't have a scientific way maybe to do it 100% correctly, but I think that we should come up with something using scales, basically. And I have 3 keyboards. This one is a wired, sort of cheap mechanical style keyboard. It's very clicky. It has backlighting in different colors, and yeah, it's a pretty cheap keyboard. We have the HP 975 wireless keyboard, which has well, the ability to connect to 3 devices, as mentioned in the review, so that's nice. And then we have the MX Keys keyboard, which if I'm not mistaken, is a bit heavier than the 975, and this one is the lightest, I think, or maybe not. We shall check that once again. And also another comment was that it would be interesting to compare the backlighting of the HP and the 975, the HP 975 and the MX Keys keyboard. So I will intentionally keep things dim, so we can compare the light output. We might as well start with the light output. So right now, this is sort of the reference here. The blue one. I'm not sure how to, if I can change this to be white background lighting. There was some command, I think, but well, let's have a look. Yeah, we have some symbols here, increasing and decreasing. So maybe if I press the FN button, I don't seem to decrease or increase, but I can switch colors at least. Why can't I change the... I should have looked this up before, but okay, let's change color. This is more whitish, but it's not truly white. It has some blue and pink. This is weird. Let's go the other way. Red. Okay, I suppose this is the whitest sort of thing that we can get. So, but I can't seem to... I don't see any shift in... I don't see any... Yeah. For some reason. Oh well. Anyway. So, and this is... I mean, it's hard to say how bright it is, but it's not super bright from where I'm sitting. It looks a bit brighter actually on camera. Maybe because it's at another angle, so a lot of light is leaking out here. But let's turn on the light on the HP 975. And currently I have well, I have the window blinds closed, but I have a ceiling lamp. I believe it's 8 or 10 watt LED bulb, single bulb, and which is well, plus 2 monitors here, giving some light. I shall turn off one of the monitors, actually. So I have one monitor left, but I will I'll bring up Notepad on it so I can see when things actuate and stuff. But we can actually turn off that monitor as well for this test with the lights. So yeah. Right. So now the only real light that I have in this room is from a ceiling light bulb. And I have a bit of a shadow that's cast here from my phone setup. But yeah, let's start like this with the ceiling light on and just see if we can do a comparison here. So to turn the backlight on, we have a backlight button here, and we can switch some intensities. So let's start with the first mode. To my eyes, this is a bit dimmer than on camera. Let's take the MX Keys, and then for MX Keys we have couple of buttons above F6 and F7, and I believe I have to press the FN button as well, this one, and then no, then maybe yes, this is off. Okay, so I didn't need the FN button. Right, so this is the lowest intensity, and yeah, it dims down when you remove your fingers from it. So this is what it looks like. Let's go to second dimmest. There. And do the same here. Yeah, to my eyes, well, the HP one seems to be brighter, but I believe that's because there's light leakage from under the buttons, or the keys, I should say. You can see you have a lot of light leaking out, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. However, I'm just saying that you have some light leakage from this angle on the MX keys as well, but when it's on the table like this, you don't see much light leakage, but you see it here when you get this angle. But if I place this one here, let's swap positions. Actually, maybe we'll get another angle. Yeah, we do actually get. So maybe I should place them side. I don't have too much space here, unfortunately. But something like this. And there are a bit different types of white bluish. It's hard to say which is the brightest, actually. It's very hard because of the light leakage. So why don't we try to place them here instead, closer to the camera, so that we don't get the angle that sort of makes things harder. We can do it like this. So now there's not a lot of light leakage. However, yeah, on the MX still it's not easy. Also, I think that the actual what makes it hard as well is that I have a feeling, yeah, if we compare the the light shines through the actual letters, and well, the letters are smaller of font on the MX keys than on the HP, so the A here is a lot bigger. So it makes it sort of tricks maybe one's eyes that since you have larger font with more light shining through there, maybe it appears clearer maybe and brighter because more light is shining through the actual letters themselves, the characters. Okay, but let's go to the next level of brightness on the HP first. There, and let's do the same thing here. Not a huge difference, but a little bit of difference, yeah. And I should also mention that yes, the battery time will of course suffer from having backlight on, especially if you have it on the very bright settings. So yeah, you decide. The MX, yeah, it I can see that, yeah, it has backlight and everything, but this one seems brighter, and I think that's because of the larger shine through areas for the characters. But they both look good. Let's see, I think this is the brightest setting. Let's try to go up one notch. Yeah, we actually had one. Yeah, and there as well. This might be the brightest setting now. And I must say, yeah, the HP does look brighter. But I believe there's more light leakage. I don't know, maybe not. It's hard to say. You decide, yeah. Okay, so now we have the MX here and the HP here at the bottom. So I think this is the brightest. Oh, we have many steps here. Let's go to the actual brightest. I mean, there and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the MX. Let's go to off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seems like we have 7 steps on the MX and 4 steps on the HP, which already is showing me that the battery is sort of running low. I think maybe the backlight on the max mode, yeah, draws a bit more current. Well, I must say that now, both in their respective highest setting, the MX is clearly brighter, and you have more control. So it's unfair to maybe do a comparison where you press one time here and one time here, because we have different amounts of steps. So basically, we should maybe look at the dimmest and the highest setting, and then you know that you have more granularity on the MX Keys, Logitech one, with these 7 steps. So you have basically 5 steps between the lowest and highest, and The HP has 4 steps in total, so it has 2 steps in between the lowest and highest. Yeah, but let's turn this off and turn this off. And this, I don't know how to turn that off actually, but I shall now remove the light source in the ceiling, and we shall do a new comparison. And we're back. So now the window blinds are closed. It is daylight outside, so that's why it isn't completely dark here, but it's much darker than it was a second ago. And I have turned off the ceiling light, so right now this is a pretty dim workplace, and we can see that the effect of the backlight is clearer now. If I yeah. So right, typing on this now would be pretty well. You see some keys, like the Windows key here, it shows up because it has a lot more of white area, and the keys with a lot of symbols, they sort of are more visible. Yeah, so let's go for the lowest setting. There we have the MX Keys lowest setting, and the HP lowest setting. I would say they are. We have the HP on the right and the MX Keys on the left. I would say they are pretty comparable, but the larger font size on the HP does give it another look and feel of it. So they're not as bright as that one anyway, but let's go to the highest setting on each. So, but we're gonna step through, so one there, one there. So if you press 2 times on each one, you get this result. HP on the right, MX on the left. The MX dims down a bit quickly, maybe because I don't have my hands here, but you see, yeah. Right. Let's go for a third step there and a third step there. So I think they're pretty comparable, but maybe this one feels, the MX feels a bit more bluish, maybe, to my eyes. This is more of a natural white, although bluish as well, but not as much as this one. This is a colder light. Let's go for a fourth step, and this will be the maximum for the HP 975, while the MX Keys still has 2 more steps to go. So let's compare. It all depends a bit on the angle as well, of course. So if I press one more time on the HP, I think it turns off the backlight. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is the maximum on the HP, and we should have 2 more steps here. No, 3 actually. Maybe it has 8 steps. Let's see here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 7. Okay, maybe I miscalculated things. So these are the both keyboards maximum, with the HP on the right and the MX keys on the left. Let's see if we can focus in the middle. Let's switch places. And then of course it let me just, it also matters, of course, the angle that you, from which you look at it. So the MX doesn't have any angle adjustment feet. It basically is what it is. So this is the angle you get. The HP we can fiddle about. Right now I did have the feet opened, so if I close them, it should be a lot flatter of an angle than the MX. So there we have it. We can switch places. You can of course pause the video if you want to find a specific position that you would like to inspect further. So this is with the feet down on the HP. Yeah, so and this one is clearly brighter in its brightest setting, the MX Logitech MX Keys. It really is brighter, yeah. But it doesn't have to be this bright, maybe. Just because it can get very bright. I don't know if you actually need it. If you have a dark room, then just having a backlight, maybe 2 modes or 3 is sufficient. If you have enough light in your room, then you don't need the backlight. During the day I don't use the backlight because it's not needed. The keys are visible anyway. We can actually try to simulate that. So let's turn off the backlighting on this one, and let's turn it off on this one. So right now it's pretty dim. It would be pretty cumbersome to type on this, but let me turn back the light in this room and we shall see. Right, so this has the this is the ceiling light turned on, and we can see, if I just move about here a bit, the MX seems a lot lighter because it has a lighter background, I think, than the HP, but also maybe a bit of a shade is falling on the HP. So from my camera setup, so let's switch them around. Maybe, yeah, you can see I have a bit of a shade here, but if we compare this, the actual non-numpad, if we exclude this part now, we can see what it looks like. And if I turn on some more light, like in this scenario, and turning on some monitors around me. Give me a second. Yeah, so right now we get some reflection maybe, but from this angle. But if we ignore the reflection in the camera, maybe I can move the camera down a bit and try a different angle. Well, it's hard. It still gives a lot of reflections. But basically, without reflections, you can see the HP and the MX Keys. I wouldn't use backlighting. We can turn it on for sure. So this is the lowest setting, and the lowest setting on this one, the MX. It basically doesn't do any difference. I have to go to a pretty high mode. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is the maximum on the HP, and if we go to the maximum on the MX, it doesn't do a whole lot of difference. So if I hold it here and I remove the backlight, yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot when you have a lot of light in the room. And yeah, so there we have it. Right, very interesting. Thank you so much for the comment. Don't remember who it was, but maybe I will look it up and place it on the screen. So yeah, thank you very much. It was very interesting to compare the backlightings. Now let's head into part 2 of this. Two, where we will try to see if we can measure any difference in the actuation force needed for these keyboards. So allow me to set the camera up in a different angle and stuff, and I'll be right back. And I'm back. So let's utilize my kitchen scales here of unknown quality, but well, it says that there's a delta of 1 gram. Yeah, maximum of 5 kilograms, so 11 pounds it says. Let's turn it on. I have a notepad on my computer, on my screen in front of me, and I will see when things actuate. But we'll concentrate on this on these scales, and I will place this. I think that I will try to place it in a way that the L here is sort of in the middle of the scales. And we can first of all see that this Marvo Touch Wisdom keyboard weighs 772 grams. So let's zero it out, and I will slowly start to press the L button, and we shall see when it actuates. Right. Okay. I shall. Let's do that again. It was around 50 grams. Yeah, right at 50. So 50. Yeah, it depends how you press. If I press at the edge of the key here, it requires a lot more force. So I will try to center my finger right onto the button. So let's start over, right. $51, 52 grams. Let's, yeah, try it one more time. I just slowly increase. Yeah, 51 grams. A second try. Let's do it a third time. $51 grams. So maybe this isn't scientific, but my method of testing this. But at least 51 we could repeat. 50 or 51 we could repeat 3 times. Right, let's put that reference board away, and let's start with continue with the MX Keys here. So I have to place it somehow that it makes it stable enough. Put the L, which we have here. Yeah, we can see we have small dimples. So that's also a factor. If you are not comfortable with the dimples when typing, then maybe that is a bad thing. But we can see we have 29 grams here, so this weighs 29 grams more than the reference board keyboard back there. So let's zero this out, and I shall just clear my screen, yeah, and I will start to apply force, and we shall see when it actuates. There, 59 or 60 grams. Let's do it a second time. I will place my finger centered. Yeah, 58 or 59. Okay, and a third time. $62. Okay, so between 58 and 62 grams on the L key. Let's see what kind of impact we get if I just move this to the left a little bit. See if that does a whole lot of difference. The actual placement. 58. Let me try it one more time. $61. Yeah, so between, I would say 60 grams. Aim for 60. The that's on a standard key like the L in this case. I would say that this one is 50 grams, the clicky one, and the MX Keys is in that case 60. So maybe we can at least compare them to each other in that way, which one is heavier and which one is lighter to press. Now let's bring in the HP 975, and we get a -155, which is which means that it's 155 grams lighter than the MX Keys. Oh, I should maybe have switched to pounds as well. Sorry about that. Maybe I can do it now at least. Right, I will just clear my screen. There, and try to center my finger on the L. Yeah, that was 55, I think. Let's try it one more time. .54 maybe even. I will try one more time, and it's hard to apply an increasing force by only 1 gram at a time. So let me try it again. Yeah, 55. So 55. What is 55 then? Well, let's put this to ounces. Then 1.9 ounces. It seems. Let me try it again. Ounces. So 1.9 to 2 ounces for the HP 975. Let's do the same thing in ounces for this one. Also 2 ounces. Let me switch back to grams. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No. $57 grams. Yeah. It says -1. Yeah. No, 0. Okay. Let's try it again. $61. Yeah, between the 58 and the 61, I would say 60. Yeah. So if we go to pounds and ounces. Oh, sorry, I was too quick there. Yeah, 1.9 or 2 ounces, and the reference one then yeah, .7 ounces. So yeah, the cheapo clicky Marvo keyboard is the lightest. Then we have the HP, which is about 5 grams lighter to press. 5-6 grams lighter to press than the MX Keys. So yeah, 55, and the MX Keys was about 60. So yeah, I suppose like a 10% difference then. The HP is 10% lighter to press, but let me see if I can find hang on a moment. Right, I did find this one. This is the Logitech I use this for my HD PC because it has a touchpad, which is I like this a lot. And this is the K400 Plus version, white. And this one weighs only 395 grams, or sorry, 13.9 ounces with the batteries inside. So let's place it with the L key sort of centered, and zero this out. And we shall do this. $60. So let's see if it okay. This one is the keys are a bit, they move around a bit, so it's really it all depends a whole lot on how you press the key. So let's try this one more time, straight from the above. $58. Okay. 54. $58. So yeah, between 54 and 58, let's call it in the middle somewhere. So maybe 56 grams. So this would be pretty much on par with the HP. So if you have this is a very popular keyboard, the K400 Plus. If you have such a keyboard, then I mean, it's still a different look and feel and touch of these keys compared to the HP. These are not as flat, and they have a lot more travel, I think. So it's still not the same feeling on typing on this one as it is on the, let's say, the HP or the MX, but the force at least is pretty much the same. So in that regard, if you have one of these keyboards, which are pretty popular, then at least you know about it's about the same force, at least. Right. It was great fun. Thank you also very much for that comment, and the idea to okay, this isn't very scientific, and I'm using kitchen scales and stuff, but at least with the same measurement device and sort of methodology, we saw some differences between the keyboards. However, the actuation force that you need to apply isn't by far the only or the largest contributing factor to the feeling of typing on a keyboard. I mean, it also has to do with if it's clicky, the actual travel, like this one travels a whole lot, and where does it click and where does it actuate, and is the force that's needed linear or not, and you know. But at least we know the actuation force until the button is pressed, basically. and something appears on the screen. So yeah, great fun. Oh yeah, there was actually one other comment about the HP 975. Let me prepare for that one. Right, so now the third topic for today is another viewer who said that he or she had read that the HP 975 won't work in BIOS even with the dongle mode. So that would be this mode, which I am in right now. And we have two Bluetooth modes, but the Bluetooth keyboards don't work in BIOS. Yeah, I believe that might be true for most cases. The dongle mode, however, I was wondering, is that actually true? So, well, how fortunately for you, my friend, friend of the channel, I have decided to test that as well. And yeah, let me switch over to my BIOS screen. Right, so I did manage to enter BIOS when booting up the PC. That worked fine. So now let me press the down button here on the HP keyboard, right? I have the dongle mode, and let's see, currently we're over there in the settings. So I will press down. You see? The keyboard does work in dongle mode in BIOS. Let me turn off the PC. And I turn it on once again. And we shall press the delete button once we see a prompt. Currently no signal, but hopefully we should hear a beep soon. Input, yes. There. You see? And I can navigate pretty much where I want in BIOS. So it does work. I can't vouch for all BIOSes. I mean, I don't know if you meant BIOS as in old school computer BIOS or UEFI like this one, but if you have a UEFI, this is an MSI board, X399 board. I believe it's called the X399 Meg Creation. Meg X399 Creation, yes. And it does work. So I can, for instance, quit without saving. Yes. Right, so now that we have established all of this, which one is the best? Is it the reference model, the cheap wired sort of mechanical keyboard, clicky one? Is it the MX Keys or is it the HP 975? Well, unfortunately I can't help you with that. Keyboards are such a subjective experience, and your preferences are subjective as well. So, I mean, I like all of these in different ways. So, in the same way that you can like other things in different ways, different types of foods and stuff, And just like with food, well, I like having several keyboards, because I get tired of this one, then I go to this one, and I like the switch, because every time I switch between different keyboards, I feel like, oh yeah, I want to type a lot of this, a lot on this one now, and then I go to this one, I want to type a lot of this on this one, and the feeling of getting a new keyboard every time you switch around, and then I want a clicky one, and you know, that feeling makes it. Well, it feels like you have a new keyboard every other day or something. However often you switch. But it's very nice, and it works in BIOS with the dongle. At least for me, I can't 100% say that it will work for you. But if you have a sufficiently new computer with the UEFI, maybe you have to turn on or off some USB legacy mode option in BIOS, something like that, and it should work. So maybe, I don't know who told you it doesn't work, but maybe that source has either a very old BIOS or doesn't have the correct BIOS option for in the USB section of the BIOS. So yeah, but it does work in BIOS if everything is compatible. It's not that there's some technical thing that makes it not work on any BIOS. And my board for X399, it has a Threadripper 2000 series CPU, so that was quite a few years ago. So yeah, it should work with the dongle, at least. So right, great. This has been great fun, and well, I promised you a short video, didn't I? And I see that we pretty much have passed the 1 minute mark. Sorry, 1 hour mark. 1 minute. I was pretty optimistic there. But yeah, they're both great keyboards. The best is, of course, if you can try it out physically in a store somewhere. But if not, yeah, it's hard to convey the feeling. Have a look at the original review for more information if you want. But it's pretty hard to convey the feeling of typing on different keyboards. But now we know a bit about backlighting, how many modes each of them have. We saw some visual comparisons on different highest setting, lowest setting, somewhere in between. We compared the actuation forces of some keyboards, and we have established that in theory, using the dongle at least, the HP 975 should work in BIOS with the supplied dongle. So there we have it. Thank you all viewers, friends of the channel, for all your comments. It has been great. I love it, and this has led up to this video, and I hope you liked this video as well. And please do leave more comments if you have them. Has this helped you in any way, or was this just an hour of your time flushed down the drain? If so, I'm sorry about that. And if it could help you in some way, I'm very happy to hear. So great, yeah. I will make sure that this video goes up as soon as possible to be relevant to your comments before you do a purchasing decision. So thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.